how should you do time sections to improve on the LSAT? And even beyond that, what are time sections and why should we do them if we want to improve on the LSAT? My name is Diego Sarmiento. I was one of only 24 people in the entire world in 2024 to score a perfect 180 score on the LSAT. And over the past year, I've tutored thousands of students taking their scores from the 150s to the 170s. And in this video, I want to break down probably the most important study step that you guys should take to improve on the exam, and that is doing time sections. How to do them, what are time sections, and why we should do them. To break down what time sections are, basically the LSAT is full exam, but it's broken up into 4 different parts. And these 4 parts are called timed sections. There are sections of the LSAT and they are timed. Depending on if you have accommodations or not, they could either be 35 minutes or 53 minutes if you get time and a half, or you could even get double time, which you get 70 minutes per timed sections. And then out of the 4 time sections, 3 of them are graded. 1 of them is an experimental section. The thing is, when you take the exam, you don't know which one is which. So you don't know if the first one is experimental or the last one is experimental. So you have to treat them all as, real timed sections. So the exam, again, is broken up into 4 timed sections. The timed sections either could be one of 2 types. The first time section is logical reasoning. The second is reading comprehension. Logical reasoning is, like a shorter passage, then 1 question on that one shorter passage. And then reading comprehension is a longer passage and then 5 questions that correspond and ask about that longer passage. So that's what time sections are. They are what make up, the LSAT. They're what make up the exam. So why should we do timed sections to study for the exam? Well, I think it's pretty clear why we should do them, because they are what make up the exam. But actually, a lot of tutors, and the way a lot of people study, is instead of doing individual timed sections, they'll do full exams. So again, remember, full exams are 4 timed sections. And what a lot of people will do to study is they will do, for the full test, they'll do the full 4 timed sections back to back to back. It'll take them maybe 3 hours. They'll do it in one day. And that's how they study. And then the next day, they'll maybe review what they got wrong, things like that. What I am proposing with, my study schedule that I've spoken about in other videos, is instead of doing all 4 timed sections at one point, we should break it up and do them on different days. So maybe on Monday, you should do only the first timed section of an exam. Then maybe on Wednesday, you do the second timed section of that same exam. Then on Friday, you do the third timed section of that exam. And then on Saturday or Sunday, you could, if you want, you could do the 4th timed section of that exam. With this type of schedule, you're doing a full exam, but you're doing it over time rather than just on one day. And why do I think this is a good idea? And then after that, I'll get into how, we should do it. But why do I think this is a good idea? I think this is a good idea because the way we improve on this exam is by studying consistently over time and then doing high quality review of what we got wrong on, whatever the time section or exam. When we do a full exam, we are, making it difficult to do these things that I just said. One, we're making it difficult to study consistently. When I first started studying, I would do, the full exams, the full 3-hour, 4 timed sections in one go, and I would feel so burnt out, so tired after that, not only did I not want to study the next day, but I also didn't want to review what I got wrong. It felt, the last thing I wanted to do at that point was to review what I got wrong. But if we do timed sections and break it up, instead of doing all 4 in one day, we do one, on Monday, the other Wednesday, then we not only have the energy to, come in the next day and put in a little bit of work, but we also have the energy to do high quality review either immediately after or the next day without feeling burnt out. Because if we only take, 35 minutes to an hour to do a time section, yeah, we're going to be focused and we're going to be a little tired after, but we're going to be much more energetic compared to if we did 3 hours of studying, of intense, doing the full exam. So that's why I think we should break it up into time sections. It's more, better for the long term. It's more, it's less, it leads to less burnout. Things like that. It really is more sustainable. That was the word I'm looking for. It's more sustainable rather than doing the full exams. So that's why I think we should do timed sections over time rather than doing the full exams. But we should, when we do time sections, we should, do them in the order of completing full exams. For example, you don't want to do a time section on Monday for test 150, then a time section on Wednesday for test 100. You want to, knock out all of the time sections for a certain test so that you could still get a score back. You could still plug your scores into a score calculator, get your feedback, see if you're improving or not, things like that. But that's why I think we should do time sections. So now the most important part, how do we do time sections? Well, the way we're going to do time sections is not super complicated, but it's really important. So the first thing, before you do your time section, before you go, click start and then, really start doing the questions, I want you to make a master LSAT document that has all the tips, and all the lessons you've learned on how to perform well in the exam. So for me, I offer tutoring to my students, and part of my tutoring is they get access to my master LSAT document that I used when I was studying. And every morning before I would do a time section or any LSAT studying, I would go and review this document. Why do we do this? Well, we do this because we want to prime ourselves before we take the actual, do any LSAT work, so that we don't make any mistakes that we would have if we didn't review. Because for most students who take the exam, they just go in haphazardly. They go in without reminding themselves of the principles they need to do well. So for example, one principle on the LSAT to do well is you want to make predictions. Say you don't, skim through a document that reminds you to do that before you, do a time section. You're going to do the time section, then maybe halfway you'll be like, oh shoot, I forgot to make predictions. Whereas if you had that on your master document and you skimmed through that document before you did the time section, you wouldn't forget that. So that's the first thing. Make a master LSAT document and skim it before you do your time section. Again, if you want access to mine, you could purchase and join the tutoring community that I have in the description below. So that's the first thing. The other thing is I highly recommend doing your studying early in the morning. Why do I recommend this? Or doing your time sections early in the morning. Why do I recommend this? You're going to perform a lot better if you do it in the morning. For some reason, even if you're a night owl, for some reason, students consistently perform and score better when they take the time section in the morning rather than at the day after a long day's work. Why? I don't know, probably some scientific reason, some biological reason, but please, 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 if you can, trust me, do your timed sections at least in the morning, because you really want your brain, there was like a piece of lint in the air, but you really want your brain firing at 100%. And I think the way biology works, your brain just performs better, logically, mechanistically, through reasoning, it performs better in the morning. So do it in the morning. You're also less likely to skip out on studying. You're also more likely to make it a consistent habit, studying an hour a day, which actually is my schedule. And again, if you want all of these things, if you want my schedule, if you want my master documents, if you want to work with me, if you want my tutoring, you could go and purchase a month of it with the link in the description below. Comes out to $20 an hour. Students are getting great results. We'd love to have you. But that's the other thing I recommend. The other thing I recommend is putting your phone away, putting it in a different room, powering it off, and making sure you're not going to get interrupted while you're doing your time section. You want to be completely focused. You want to be completely, in the moment, in the zone. You don't want anyone interrupting you because it's a timed section. You're under time. You're under time pressure. So that's another thing you want to do. Finally, when you're actually doing the time section, I want you to have the mindset of prioritizing accuracy over speed. What does this mean? What does it mean to prioritize accuracy over speed? Well, when you open a time section, the first thing I want you to do is go and turn the clock off. So go turn the clock off so that you don't see it, so that you're not worrying about time, and solely focus on the one question in front of you. Take as long as you need to get that question in front of you correct, rather than trying to rush through the next one. Don't worry about the time. Don't worry about other questions. Go one question at a time. Why are we going to do this? This is always the most effective and efficient strategy to get a good score in the short term, but also in the long term. Why? Because the way the LSAT works, it gets more difficult the later you get into the exam. So questions 1 through 10 are much easier than questions 20 through 25. So it always makes the most sense to focus on getting the question in front of you correct, taking as long as you need, because if you see a difficult one, and if you're doing a difficult one, and some students think, hey, this is a difficult one, let me skim through it, I'll go fast just so I could get to the next one. Most likely the next one's gonna be even harder. So it always makes the most economic sense in the short term to get the question in front of you correct, regardless of how long it takes. Finally, in the long run, this is a good strategy because if you're rushing through questions and you get it wrong, you'll never know why you got it wrong. You won't really remember the steps that you took because you just rushed through it. Whereas if you take your time with every question you attempt and you be okay with guessing on questions at the end, then when you get a question wrong, you'll remember how you got it wrong. You'll remember why you got it wrong, and so on and so forth. You could learn how to not make that mistake in the future. So go accuracy over speed, prioritize accuracy over speed, and also be okay with guessing on questions at the end. Turn the clock off. Again, if you're a beginner and if you prioritize accuracy over speed, going one question at a time, maybe you only answer the first 10 questions, only the first 15. That's okay. Be okay with putting DDD on the rest. And the way you improve over time is by, okay, maybe this week you answer the first 10, then maybe next week you answer the first 12, then the first 14, then the first 15. And that's how you improve rather than trying to answer all of them and getting the easier ones wrong and then not, being able to learn from your mistakes because you rush through the questions. So those are the tips on how to do time sections. They're really important. Oh, and then once you finish the time section, maybe take a break for 5 minutes. It depends how long your time section took. If it just took you 35 minutes, then maybe take a rest for 5 minutes. Then you could start reviewing what you got wrong immediately after. If it took you an hour or 70 minutes, then you could just call it a day. That's your 1 hour day of studying. That's what you did. The next day you could come in and start reviewing what you got wrong on the time section. But again, always remember to do high quality review. I'll do a video on what high quality review looks like in the future, but these are the steps on how to do a time section, what a time section is, why it's important. Please, 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 I hope you took notes on this. I hope you followed along. And again, if you want to get more, in-depth tutoring and information from me, you could go to the link in the description and purchase a month of my tutoring. But okay, with that, I'll see you on the next video. Bye, y'all.